Hey guys, welcome to the Liberal Hive Mind, a channel solely focused on exposing the abundant hypocrisy of the left. So here we go again, another political miscalculation from the Kamala campaign. Once again, the Democrats pick a fight that they're in no position to win. Really, if you think about it, this seems to be a trend these days. With them trying to pick fights on the issue of inflation and the southern border, these are not your positions of strength, leftoids, and the people know your track record, and now we're seeing the exact same thing on the issue of Joe Biden's disastrous Afghanistan withdrawal. After everything this administration has done, they want to lecture Trump on the issue of showing respect to military service members, and especially those 13 U.S. service members who lost their lives thanks to Joe Biden and Kamala Harris's inaction and incompetence during that period back in 2021. Kamala Harris condemns Donald Trump for showing up at Arlington National Cemetery, and boy did it frickin' backfire, as nearly every single parent of those fallen service members comes out publicly with a vlog-style video essentially telling Kamala to kick frickin' rocks. This is one of the most legendary events in the news cycle I've ever covered, particularly within the framework of electoral politics. This has to be one of the biggest backfires ever. Let's have a conversation about it. We got some stuff to get into, so let's roll the tape. Alright folks, so the backstory is actually quite simple. Donald Trump was invited to a memorial on the day commemorating these incredible patriots who sacrificed everything. He was actually invited by the parents. He then placed the wreath. And for the most part, I thought not much of it. I viewed it as a positive thing, frankly as a beautiful moment, a former president showing up, and apparently the context that surrounded the event was that Donald Trump had showed up because Joe Biden and Kamala Harris refused to do so. I didn't think it was disrespectful. I thought, in fact, it was respectful. A former president connecting with the people, and frankly supporting the people who deserve it the most. It was a good thing. It was a beautiful thing. But then, of course, the left does what the left does, and they turn it political. One of Kamala Harris's staffers tweeted this. Yes, I refuse to believe that Kamala Harris writes her own tweets, just like I refuse to believe that she was able to pass the bar exam. As a vice president, I have had the privilege of visiting Arlington National Cemetery several times. It's a solemn place. A place where we come together to honor American heroes who have made the ultimate sacrifice in service of this nation. It is not a place for politics. And yet, as we reported this week, Donald Trump's team chose to film a video there, resulting in an altercation with cemetery staff. Let me be clear, the former president disrespected sacred ground, all for the sake of a political stunt. How dare Donald Trump show up at Arlington National Cemetery? Are these people freaking serious? He's the former president of the United States. Pretty sure if he gets invited to Arlington National Cemetery, he can show up out of respect and it's not a political stunt. There's also no evidence that campaign videos were filmed there. I haven't seen a single one drop from the team. There's newscast video and individual cell phone recorded video showing Trump walking down the steps and paying his respects, but the idea that he turned the thing into a campaign event is totally ludicrous. It is a flat-out lie. Harris's claim that Donald Trump politicized his visit is a totally misplaced claim and hypocritical for several reasons. Presidential visits to Arlington National Cemetery are traditional and nonpartisan. What's the whole purpose of them? Well, the whole purpose is to honor fallen soldiers regardless of political affiliation. You know, these visits should be viewed as solemn duties. These are moments when we should be unifying. Donald Trump didn't do anything wrong, and the claim that he politicized this event is totally backwards. I'll tell you my perspective. I think Kamala Harris, by criticizing Trump's visit, attempting to wag her finger to create outrage where we should be seeing unity, I think that is politicizing the event. That's the only political act that I see here. In my view, her critique could be interpreted as an attempt to use a solemn moment to score cheap political points. I mean, just think about it. Her comments seem more focused on attacking Trump than actually honoring the sacrifice of these 13 U.S. service members who died under her watch. Maybe for a second she should have thought about those 13 U.S. service members. Maybe she should have thought about the family members and their will before launching this pathetic critique. And of course, that's the perfect segue. I'm using it as a segue because once again, another political miscalculation, because had Kamala Harris been thinking about the will and intent of those family members, she would have never released this tweet. The parents of those fallen service members are the ones who invited Trump. Maybe you should have thought about that before criticizing him, because now, well, this happened. As you see on screen, we got 8 videos, 8 individually recorded videos from the parents of those fallen soldiers, all essentially telling Kamala Harris to kick frickin' rocks. Holy frickin' moly, this is a moment of political history right here. And honestly, I'm going to take a step back from this conversation. I think I've said enough. What I'm going to do now is donate my platform to these 8 incredible voices so the parents themselves can set the record straight. Nice job, Kamala. You incurred the wrath of Gold Star family members. A real good look.
What happened at Arlington was President Trump was invited by those families who have their soldiers buried at Arlington. They were invited there as a friend, as somebody who has taken the time numerous times on numerous occasions to hear our stories, to speak our kids' names, and to help us get some accountability from your administration.
My name is Coro I am Corporal Humberto Sanchez's mother. This is my statement of what happened on August 26, 2024. My son is not buried in Arlington, but I really feel like when President Trump went and paid tribute and paid his respect in Arlington for our kids, it was not just the ones buried in there. It was for all of our kids, and it was an invitation that the families actually extend to him, and it's not the first time that he actually meet with us and share time and with our families. After 3 years until now, Kamala Harris and President Biden didn't even say their 13 names. They called the withdrawal in Afghanistan a success, and for us it was just sadness and a disgrace.
Vice President Harris, my name is Jim McCollum. I am the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Lance Corporal Riley McCollum, killed in Afghanistan, August 26, 2021. Your recent remarks related to Trump's visit to Arlington are filled with nothing but lies and deceit. You have failed for 3 years and 8 months to acknowledge our kids, to acknowledge me. You don't know me. You've never spoken to me. You've never reached out to me. You have failed in your duties as vice president. You know nothing about honor, courage, commitment, respect, but President Trump does. President Trump has been there for us. He's been a rock for us. He showed compassion for us, and he showed he truly cares for the families that truly do know what the ultimate sacrifice really is. You have the day you deserve.
This is Mark Schmidt, Gold Star father of Marine Lance Corporal Jared Schmidt. We invited him to be there. Groundwork was put into place by Congressman Ice's office to make sure we followed protocol. Why did we want Trump there? It wasn't to help his political campaign. We wanted a leader. That explains why you and Joe didn't get a call. The irony behind your post that you give a rat's ass about our military or our veterans, Jared's brothers and sisters in arms, the rest of the 12, their brothers and sisters in arms, is an outright lie. We're living proof of that. You're despicable. You have zero business running this country.
Vice President Harris, my name is Steve Nakui. I'm the father of Lance Corporal Kareem M. Nakui. You were not at Dover for the dignified transfer. At no time have you reached out to me to offer your condolences, to offer thank you for Kareem's sacrifice and service. Not once have you honored him by saying his name, so I said it for you. You have disparaged all 13 who have lost their lives as well as their families, exhibiting your lack of gratitude by your silence. I agree with you on one thing, that a person like you should never and will never stand behind the seal of presidency. You are a DEI vice president, and contrary to our kids, the worst that America has to offer.
Vice President Harris, my name is Chrissy Shamblin. My daughter-in-law, Sergeant Nicole Leanne G., was killed in the Afghanistan exit at Abbey Gate on August 26, 2021.
President Trump and his team were respectful. They listened to our stories and didn't talk much at all. We welcomed them that day, and they were comfort to our family. Vice President Harris, why will you not express your condolences yourself? Why have we never heard from you? And finally, why would you take a day where we celebrated the death of our loved one and use it to disparage not only them, but us? President Trump has called. President Trump shows up. And President Trump takes the time to hear our loved ones' stories. Why won't you do the same?
My name is Darren Hoover, and I'm the Gold Star father of United States Marine Corps Staff Sergeant Taylor Hoover. Kamala, I want you to understand, and I know it will be difficult for you because you lack empathy and basic understanding. We invited President Trump. We are the ones that asked for the video and the pictures to be taken. Let me be clear. There was no politics discussed, none whatsoever. There was also not an assault that we observed take place, or did we hear it? I don't know where this is coming from, but it's disgusting and gross.
Good afternoon. My name is Lopez. I'm a Gold Star father. My son, Corporal Hunter Lopez, was a U.S. Marine killed in action on August 26, 2021. This message is intended for Vice President Kamala Harris. I'm not a person who usually takes to social media, but earlier today, your post regarding the incident at Arlington National Cemetery was brought to my attention. After reading it, it caused a reaction with me. You indicated in your post that you support the military and military families. I, for one, have not seen that support. It's been 3 years since my son was killed in action, and myself, my family, and other Gold Star families have not seen any support from you or your administration. You may make hollow promises about the economy or anything else you'd like to make promises about. But one thing that I ask of you, and the reason I'm making this message, is for you to stop making comments about your support for the military. As a Gold Star father, I know that you have not supported us. I know that you have not supported other Gold Star families.
And there it is. I think the record's straight at this point. And just to finish off this video, friends, I'd like a little moment of silence to think, to reflect, and most importantly, to show our respects and memorialize the lives of these 13 U.S. service members who made the ultimate sacrifice. Thank you.